Well, this was obviously a much-awaited speech from the French President François Hollande, and he gave some elements, some information to the French people regarding these dreadful, traumatic attacks on Paris that took place, unprecedented attacks on Paris last night. The French President pointed the finger at the so-called Islamic State group. He said that an army had attacked France and that France would respond in the strongest possible way with all means at the country's disposal. The French president also made a call for unity. He called all the French people to get together in these traumatic, difficult times. 3 days of national mourning have been declared. The City Hall here in Paris has decided to close all the city's buildings, such as all buildings or venues run by the City Hall, meaning museums, libraries, swimming pools. All school trips have been cancelled. France is on the highest state of alert. A state of national emergency. A state of emergency has been declared for the whole of France. And this is the first time since the Algerian War in 1961. Remember that in 2005, when the riots rocked the French suburbs, a state of emergency had been declared, but only in some parts of the territory. This time, the whole of the country is in a state of emergency. François Hollande, the French president, said that France will fight Daesh, the so-called Islamic State groups, within the rules of law, and that France will be working hand in hand with its partners. Barack Obama, the US president, spoke to the French president this morning. François Hollande really is trying to get everyone behind him here in France also. He spoke to the leader of the opposition, former president Nicolas Sarkozy. He spoke to him this morning. He will speak to him again today. The French president will also be meeting with representatives of all the French political parties. And he's also announced an extraordinary Congress, the so-called Congrès extraordinaire at the Versailles Palace. That will be on Monday, and that will bring together all of the French MPs, members of parliament, whether it's Senate or the National Assembly. French President François Hollande had an extremely long night. He was at the scene of the hostage crisis yesterday at the Bataclan, very close to where all the shootings happened. And he made a speech there, and then he was back here at the presidential palace along with some of his ministers, most of his ministers, some of which even slept at the Élysée Palace.